Hello dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we will be looking at views in MySQL. First of all, we will check what is the use of view, how to create or change the view or replace the view, and then we will be discussing about the check or with check option. That is what is the check option. First of all, if we consider a view, it is a virtual table, or we can say it is a temporary table which we can create on a single table, on multiple tables. We can create view on a view, we can create view on multiple views, or we can create a view on combination of view and table. It depends upon our requirement. Basically, the use of view is if we want to solve some complicated queries, then we take help of view. For this view example, I am considering three tables. It is course table with attributes CNO, CNAME, duration and fees. Student table with roll number of a student, student name, address and course number, to which course he has taken admission. And student fees table in which we are considering receipt number, receipt date, roll number and receipt amount. This is a simple table I have considered. Now, the basic use of view is if we want to write completed queries, then instead of writing completed queries, we can take help of a view. Or if some data, if we want to display multiple times in a day or in a month or in a year from a table, then instead of displaying that data from a table, we can work with view. We can create a view because view works faster as compared to tables. But basically, to solve complicated queries or the queries which we cannot solve, those queries directly on a table which we cannot solve, those queries we try to solve with the help of views. For example, suppose we want to display roll number of a student, then his name, his course name, course fees, to which course he has taken admission, his total paid fees, and course fees minus paid fees will be the remaining fees. Now in this table, in this student fees table, we are maintaining student's installment. Student can pay the course fees in a lump sum. Suppose we have 5 courses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Course number 3 fees is suppose 5,000 rupees. We have student with roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and roll number 4 has taken admission for course number 3. So he has to pay total fees 5,000 rupees. This student fees table, student can pay this fees 5,000 into installment. Like he can pay 2,000 rupees, then after few days or after few months, he can pay again 1,000 rupees. So total fees paid by roll number 4 is 3,000 and his course fees is 5,000. Then we want to display remaining fees as 2,000. So this is what we want to do. So this total paid fees is nothing but sum of fees paid. Okay. And then course fees minus paid fees will be the remaining fees. Now this roll number and student name is present into student table. Course name and course fees is present into course table and paid fees information is present in student fees table. So the information which we want to display, we have to take this information from all these three tables. Okay. Now getting this information, is easy. We can join the tables, and through tables we can get this. Like here, the first query which we can write is to fetch roll number, student name, course fees. Now here I am assuming that you know all the select queries, type of all the queries: simple query, joining table, nested query, aggregate functions, group by, order by, that everything you are knowing. So to get this information, we have to write query as select roll number, student name, course name. This capital doesn't matter. This capital small I have given purposefully because it comes into the display part. And C fees, that is course fees, I am taking as a C fees. Then student inner join course using CM. Whenever we want to display data from two different tables, there must be a common field to display the matching records. Okay, so in student table and in course table, we have CNO field as a common field. So using this field, we can join these two tables, student and course, and this will display roll number, student name, and course fees. So here already I have done this in MySQL. So I am just displaying this data. This is the data. Now here it displays this R as a capital because here I have written R as a capital. This S as capital, it comes here like this. Course fees. Okay. Here it displays this. Instead of fees, it displays the C fees which I have given you. So this already I have tried it, and then I have displayed, I just pasting the data what it displays. Okay. So this is joining two tables. Now the second query, to get the roll number and total paid fees. To get the roll number and total paid fees, we have to write select RNO comma sum of receipt amount. Now sum of receipt amount I am taking as a paid fees, P fees. Select student fees group by RNO. So whatever data presented to student fees, it groups the data depending upon a roll number, and then it will make addition of the data present within receipt amount depending upon the roll number, whose roll number is common. So it displays the data. Here I have written PF fees. So here it displays PF fees. So this is roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the corresponding data. Total fees paid by the students. Now the first query and second query. Now we can join these two queries. We can combine the first query and second query as, this is the first query using which we are displaying roll number, student name, and course fees. Second query is this, here where we are displaying roll number and paid fees, grouping by RNO. So combine these two queries, we can write the third query as select RNO, SNAME, student fees, and this student fees I am considering here. Then from student inner join course using RNO, this is the first part, this is the first query, and to this now I am joining this third part. Okay, inner join with third table. So this first table is student, second table is course, and third table I am using as a student fees. So first of all, it joins student and course table, it fetches a data, and whatever data is there, now it gets inner joined with student fees data. Okay, it displays you data like this: roll number, student name, course fees, and paid fees. Now we want remaining fees, that is course fees minus paid fees will be our remaining fees, which is what we want to display. So now if we use this, that is to get the remaining fees, select roll number, student name, course fees as C fees, sum of receipt amount as P fees, and then we are using C fees minus P fees will be remaining fees. Rest part is same, just this data minus this data we are getting as the remaining fees. But if you try to execute this query, this will generate error, that is unknown column C fees. It won't get C fees now. Okay, we have given alias name, though you give P fees, it will generate the error. So to solve such type of queries, we take help of a view, or every time writing this type of query is very, very difficult. If you want roll number 2, if you want remaining, means all the data of roll number 2, if you want all the data of roll number 6, like this, executing such type of queries whenever we want this, it's very difficult writing such queries. So in that case, we take help of a views. Okay, to solve this, we have to create our own views. Okay, now the syntax for creating view is create or replace view, view name, column, list as select statement with cascade local check option. Now whatever information given into this square bracket, this is optional. We can write only create view or we can write create or replace view. Now when we write only create view, and if whatever name we have given to the view, if that name is already used by some view, then your MySQL will generate error. So if already you have created one view called as the v1, and if you want to make changes, and again if you try to create view v1, it will generate error because already your view v1 is present. So in that case, we have to first of all drop view v1 and then we have to create it, or we can directly use create or replace view. If now it will check whether this view is already exist. If this view is already exist, it deletes that view and it recreates that view. And if that view is not there, it creates a view. So better every time you try to create a view with the help of create or replace view. Okay. Column name is optional, and then you can mention the select query. Whatever select query you have learned, it may be single select query on a single table or multiple tables. It may be using group by, it may be having clause, it may be order by, it may be nested query, whatever it is. You can write any type of query here. That is considered as a view with cascade local check option that we will discuss at the demo example. I have taken one example of this. Okay, with check option cascade local. Now check here, this with the bracket is there before square bracket and this is the ending bracket. So this too is optional, and in this again we have this bracket. So with check option is again optional, and in this again this is optional. By default it is considered the cascade, that I will discuss afterwards. First of all, we will try to create a view. So as I told you in the starting, we can create a view on a table, on multiple tables, on a view or multiple views, or a combination of view and table. Okay. So I am creating here a view on a single table. Create view v. Now whenever you try to give any view name, just give v and underscore or hyphen and then give whatever name you want to give it to the view. So this is the standard nomenclature generally used by the industry just to indicate that it is a view. So create view v underscore paid fees as select RNO, comma sum of receipt amount paid fees from student fees group by RNO. So it will take roll number and total fees paid by the student as P fees. So here we are creating one view v paid fees, in which we will be getting, here we are creating view as v paid fees, and in which you are getting two attributes, or you can say columns, and pay fees. Okay, v underscore paid fees with roll number and pay fees. Or we can write same query like this. Here we have mentioned, we have given alias name, but here we have not given alias name. Okay, so the query is select RNO, comma sum of receipt amount from the student fees group by roll number, and here we are using column list. Now this column list must match with this columns or attributes which we are selecting here. Here we have selected two attributes, so here we have to give two attributes. So first will be taken as RNO and second will be taken as a P fees. So use this or use this, doesn't matter, the meaning is one and the same. So if we create view, after create view, to check the data, we can use select star from view paid fees, or we can use any type of query whichever we want. But remember that in the view we have only two attributes or two columns, that is roll number and p fees. Okay. Now the most important point is view we are considering as a temporary table. Why? Because when this part is executed, this statement or this statement, your MySQL will create only view. It maintains the query which we have used to create a view. The select query, it maintains the select query which we have maintained to create a view. And when we execute the query first time on a view which we have created, first query, at that time whatever statement we have written here, that actually gets executed on a table, and that data comes in a view into the RAM, that is random access memory. Okay, so when we execute this query first time, that data comes into the view, and after this whatever query we fire, directly it gets executed from a RAM. Instead of fetching data from a table which is stored on a hard disk, it will try to fetch the data from RAM. RAM works faster as compared to hard disk. So henceforth, first time when you execute this query, which will fetch a data from a view, at that time whatever select query we have written while creating view, that gets executed and data comes in a RAM under the view name. And after this, whenever we try to execute any query, that will fetch the data from a RAM. Okay. Now, after creating view, after fetching a data, if you make any changes in a base table, now here base table means the table on which we have created a view. In this case, student fees table is a base table. So whatever changes you make in a base table, that will be automatically reflected into the view. So this is about creating view on a single table. Now our first query, which was based on a two tables, so that we can use for creating a view. So here I am creating view. Here I have used now create or replace view. The view name is v student info, and this same query already we have done. This is already we have done. So here it will create this view with attributes as RNO, SName, CName, and CF fees. So we have created one view which is V paid fees. This is the V paid fees which contains only roll number and paid fees, and here we have created one view in which we have roll number, student name, course name, and course fees. Here while giving select query we have given alias name to the column, and here we have given already column list, and then we have written here the attributes which we want to select. Now by using these two views, okay, this is again we can fire any type of query, we can use in, we can use between, okay, any type of query we can use here on a table data or view data. So now we have two views. In one view we have v student info, that is the first view which contains roll number, student name, course fees. This image I have taken already from SQL Server. Okay, and then v paid fees which consists of roll number and p fees. ये मैंने cut करके लिया नहीं. Whatever data, this data I have taken from a, this will show you. This is already executed. This works 100%. I have copied this data from MySQL itself. So now we have two views, and now this combine these two views. By combining these two views, easily we can get what we want. Okay. So this is now I am creating this from the two views. Okay, this is the first view and this is the second view. In both the views, roll number field is common. But here I have given alias name for the first view as VST, and for the second view I have given alias name as VPF. Okay, because roll number field is present in both the views. In previous all examples, whatever we have creating views, the field which we are selecting that is present in a single table, that's why we are not mentioning alias name. Okay, but here we have not mentioned alias name because roll number is present in student table, this is present in student table, and these two are present to student fees table. So these attributes which we are selecting, these are present in already two different tables. So SQL server will consider, MySQL will consider this automatically. But now in this view, in both the views, we have roll number as a common. So from which view to consider? For that we have to mention alias name, and that alias name we can use here for selecting the column. For S name, C name, CF fees, P fees, it is not necessary. And now check here this column S name, C name, C fees, P fees. After this comma is given, and here I have written this whatever we want. C fees minus P fees are R fees. This data and this data gets subtracted, and then it selects this as a R fees. And if you give the select star from view detail info, it will give you what we are expecting. That is roll number, student name, course fees, paid fees, and remaining fees. This is what we are expecting. This is what we want. And it was directly not possible by writing a query, or it was a completed queries. So every time to get this, we have to write completed queries. Now if you want the data of roll number 2, directly you can write select star from v detail info where roll number equal to 2. It will give you only this roll number 2 data. Or if you want remaining fees, of roll number 2, you can get it directly. No need to write that completed query which we have learned, which we have checked at the start. So this is a basic use of view. Now whenever you want remaining fees of any student, you can fire this query on a view directly. Now view which allows you to edit the base table data. Okay. This is what we are expecting. This is our example which we are expecting. Now what we can do extra with the help of view, that I am mentioning here. View which allows you to edit base table data. Base table data means the table on which we have created a view. If your view is present on a single table, and the constraint fields which are present within your table, if that are part of your view, like constraint field means there are 5 to 6 constraint fields, but basically here we are referring primary key, unique key, reference key, null, and check. We are not using default. If default is not there, then also no problem, it works. But the table on which you are creating a view, if that while creating a view, if you are fetching the attributes with these constraints, if they are present in a table, then we can modify the data in a view that will automatically modify the contents of a base table. Now suppose we have one table. On that table we have created one view. Okay, you modify any data into the table, that will be automatically reflected into the view. By default this facility is given by any RDBMS. Now while creating this view, if this view is present on single table, and if all constraint fields of that particular table, if they are part of this view, all constraint attributes, if they are part of this view, then we can modify data in view also, just like modifying data into the table. We can fire update query, we can fire delete query, we can fire insert query. That all data, modified data, again it will be reflected into the table. But for this, the most important part is that view must be present on a single table. If it is present on multiple tables, we cannot do anything. Or if aggregate fields are used, like aggregate functions are used, we have used roll number, comma, sum of receipt amount. Already we have learned this. Group by RNO. We cannot use this view, the view which is created using this, for modifying a data, because we have aggregate function. Okay, so if your query is simple query, all attributes are query means the query which is used to create your view. If that view is present on a single table, and if all constant fields are part of a view, then we can modify the data present in a view. Whatever modifications you have done on a view, those all modifications will be carried on table automatically. We will take one example. Okay, in student table, we have roll number, student name, address, and CNO. Roll number we are considering as a primary key, student table as a not null, and CNO as a reference key. So I am creating view as create or replace view v underscore stu as select RNO, S name, C name from student. So in student table, three constant fields are there. That is, roll number is a primary key, student name as a not null, and course number as a foreign key. So now in this view, we have all the constraint fields or constraint attribute. Okay. So if we check a data from a view and if we check a data from a table, you will get data like this. Already I have inserted the data and that I am checking here. This is the data from view and this is the data from a table. Now here, check this. This indicates we are fetching data from a table which is not present over here. These are my all. This is my name and my friends and all colleagues. Now, if I insert data into the view, simple insert query, insert into view stu values. Now here in in view, we have only three columns, that is roll number, S name, and CNO. So while inserting only, we have to insert roll number, S name, my daughter's name, and this is the CNO. If you fire this query, it will give you one row affected, one row inserted. Now if you check the student data, in student also it will give you roll number 101, and in view also it will give you 101, which we have inserted. Address we have not mentioned, so it displays null. Check here. Address we have not mentioned, so it displays here null address. But here we don't have address, so it displays like this. Okay. So we have inserted data into the view that will automatically reflect into the base table. Okay. Now, what if we create a view with all constraint fields and if where clause is used? View on a condition, that is terms and conditions. What affects? Okay. Now here again we have all the constraint fields, but now we have mentioned the condition like CNO between 2 and 5. So it will consider 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if we write this query like this, so we are creating a view v underscore info with the fields or attributes roll number, S name and CNO. All consent fields are present from a table student, and also we have given the condition. So if you check this select star from view info, now we have in previous example, okay, we have all the roll numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 101 and all the courses 1, 2, 3, 3. And now the view which we have created here, we don't have any other courses. We have one, we don't have 1, 2, we don't have 3, 4, 5, 6, we don't have, because these are the other course numbers are others other than 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have course number 2 and 3. Now, if we insert data like this, insert into v underscore info values 102 Harshvardhan Patil, my son, and roll number 4. Now, while creating view, here we have mentioned 2 and 4, means 2, 3, 4, 5. And while inserting, I am inserting for course number 4. After insert, if you check the data, it will show you here 102, that is Harshvardhan Patil, and here also it will show you 102. Now in both the here Vasundhara and Harshvardhan address is not mentioned because we have inserted this both the records through view. So this address is missing. Okay. So this data is from table and this data is from view. Here null is there. Here also null is there and all fields. So that's why this is from a table. So the data which we have inserted now, this data, the data which we have inserted now, this data, it is showing in both table as well as view. Now I am inserting my own record, roll number 103, Sangram Patil, and course number 1. Now while creating this, we have mentioned 2 and 4. While inserting a record, we have 4, but now while inserting record, we have mentioned here course number 1. Okay, now think what will happen. Now here it won't generate any error. It inserts a record, but it won't display that record into the view. This is the missing, but here it displays this record which we have inserted of 103. So the record which we have inserted, it gets executed, though it is not satisfying the condition. The condition is 2 and 5, between 2 and 5, which is not here, but still it displays a record. Okay. But still it adds a record into the table, but not into the view, because the query which we mentioned for creating view, that query is checked only while selecting a record. Only while selecting a record, that query will be checked. If you try to update data, if you try to insert new data, it won't check the condition which we have mentioned. The condition which we have mentioned gets checked only when we are trying to insert it. It is checked only when we are trying to display a data. While inserting data, while updating data, it won't check the condition. But my dear friend, this is wrong. If you want it, no problem. It works. So you are inserting a record which is not satisfying the condition. Your MySQL or any database package will insert a data into the table, but while displaying it won't show you. So the condition which we have mentioned, if that condition, if we want to check while inserting a record, while updating a record, or while displaying the record, in that case we write the with check option. We use with check option. So I am repeating one more time. The condition which we have mentioned here, that condition will be checked only while displaying the records. The view which you have written on a single table, if you are not using any aggregate function and all table constant fields are present in a view, then you can modify the data through view. Whatever changes you make into the data of a view, that changes get reflected onto the base table directly. While creating a view, if we have given a where clause, then that where clause will be checked only while displaying the records. While adding record through the view or while updating record through view, that condition will not be checked. And if you want to check that, if you want to force that, in that case we have to check here with check option. Okay, now if you create this view with check option, and now if you try to insert one more record of Jaideep Patil with course number 1, then it will generate error. Check here, it indicates with check option failed. Okay, it will give you error that with check option is not following. Okay, because here while creating view we have mentioned with check option. Now this condition will be checked every time. Whenever you are inserting a new record, whether you are displaying or whether you are updating, every time that condition gets checked. Now in a syntax we have checked here, that is whether it is cascade or local. If you don't mention it, it is considered the cascade. Now suppose you have one view v1, one view v2, and on this two view you have written v3. Both views use where clause. Okay, and if both the views contains all the constraint fields, and in this view also if you have taken all the constraint fields, then you can insert this data into this view. That data comes into the v1, this data comes into the v2, and that data goes into the base table. Actually this is possible with the help of trigger, not directly. This is possible with the help of trigger, which is the next topic. But if you create this view using cascade, and if you create a trigger for inserting this, if you mention local, the condition of v3 will be only checked. But if you mention cascade, condition of v1 and v2 will be checked, whether it satisfies condition of all the views. But by default it is a cascade. So when we check the trigger, at that time we will try to focus on this. So this is about with check option, and this is about the view. Now give one more example I want to give you. Try this example and then go with the next video. Try this. Now here for the next view, you create one database as a company, and in that company database you create three tables: item table, bill table, and bill item table. Item table contains item number, item name, company name, price, current quantity, and minimum quantity. In bill table, consider attributes as bill number, bill date, customer name, and customer mobile number. And in bill item table, you consider bill number, item number, and purchase quantity. You create these three tables with these attributes, insert some data. Now here we have CNO as a primary key. Here we have bill number as a primary key, and here bill number and item number both as foreign keys. I am not mentioning anything other attributes. This is the attribute. And now what I want to display bill number bill date, customer name, total purchase quantity by that customer, and total bill amount of that customer. Now, bill number, bill date, and customer name is present into the first table, that is the bill table, which we can get with the help of bill number, bill date, and customer name. Now, to get the purchase quantity and total amount, we have to combine now two tables. Now, because we need total purchase quantity, so we can get sum of this, and to get the amount, we have to get purchase quantity and price. We have to multiply that to get the single amount, and all the bill items we have to use here sum of this. Okay, so to get this, okay, we can use here select bill number, sum of purchase quantity as total underscore purchase quantity, sum of price multiplied by quantity. This price is taken from bill item purchase quantity, and price will be taken from item using item number, because in both the tables item number is common, and then we have to group by bill number to make a group by bill number. Okay, and then here create or replace view bill item info, select bill number comma sum of quantity, as here we have to give underscore, T quantity, sum of price quantity underscore as the amount from bill item inner join item, because here we have used inner join because we have to fetch price. Purchase quantity already we have into the bill item table. We need price of that particular item. So this price multiplied by quantity of all the items bill number wise. जिस बिल में जो भी परचेस क्वांटिटी उसका एडिशन होगा और हर परचेस क्वांटिटी और प्राइस उसका मल्टीप्लिकेशन होगा, and then we are getting the sum. This is how we will be getting the output. And then second view we can do it on combination of bill and view, that is bill table. This is the table and this is your view. So this view now we are creating on a bill and view, bill table and view v underscore bill item info, and this will give you the information. So whatever you want you can fetch now, bill number purchase quantity, or bill number total amount, or bill number customer name, or from customer name you want to purchase total quantity and all. Whatever you want you can fetch it, not necessary to write completed query every time. So this is about view topic. If you like this video, please click on like button. If you have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe the channel and click on bell icon so that whenever I can upload a new video, you will get the information. Thank you very much.